What really happened between Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton? On the outside, they were country music's perfect couple, but behind the scenes, tension and unspoken grudges were building long before their shocking 2015 split. Public comments, award show moments, and private disputes are now being seen in a new light. Tonight, we uncover the truth, the real reasons their romance fell apart, the moments fans never saw, and what Miranda Lambert is finally saying about Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton was already married when he met Miranda Lambert. While Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton became one of country music's hottest couples, their romance didn't start under ideal circumstances. Both were involved with other people when they first met, but all commitments were quickly set aside once the chemistry sparked. "I've never had that kind of experience with anybody," Shelton recalled on VH1's Behind the Music, reflecting on a duet they performed together. "I was a married guy, standing up there and singing with somebody and going, man, this shouldn't be happening." Looking back, he admitted, that's when he realized he was already falling in love with her. Lambert felt the pull too, even though she was engaged to country singer Jeff Allen McManus. "I knew he was married," she told People in 2011. "I knew better, this is off limits." But sometimes when you know, you just know. Shelton divorced his first wife, and Lambert ended her engagement so they could be together. Though the two were genuinely in love, some wonder whether the way their relationship began, full of secrecy and broken commitments, might have foreshadowed the difficulties they would face later. Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton got engaged in 2010. In 2010, after 5 years of dating, Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton got engaged, and Lambert remembers the moment as classic Shelton charm. "He called my dad and got his blessing first," she told People. "That was so Southern and old school and perfect." It was romantic in a way that felt like a throwback to a simpler era. Shelton also nailed the ring. "I was so proud of him," Lambert said. "We've been together 5 years, so he knew exactly what I wanted, but it's so much more perfect than I could have picked out myself." A thoughtful touch that clearly scored big points. To celebrate, the couple kept it casual and completely themselves. "We had a couple of Bacardi and Diet Sprites, in a solo cup," Lambert laughed. True to form, they made it fun, relaxed, and memorable, just like their relationship. Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton tied the knot in 2011. Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton said "I do" on May 14, 2011, in a star-studded ceremony on a Texas ranch. Lambert couldn't hide her excitement. "I'm just excited to be married," she told People, "because I want to tell Blake I really can love him the rest of my life and be happy and make him happy." After the wedding, Shelton hit pause on his busy schedule to spend quality time with his new wife. "I mean, no friends, no family, just she and I just hanging out for the good part of the month," he joked. "That will be good enough for us that she'll go back to wanting to kill me again and wishing that I would go back to work." Clearly, even in newlywed bliss, Shelton's humor was front and center. Blake Shelton was always pestering Miranda Lambert. After their fairy tale wedding, Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton settled into married life in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. Away from Nashville's bright lights, they likely enjoyed some quiet bliss. But Shelton couldn't resist teasing his new wife. "I'm always pestering her," he admitted to People. "I just cannot get enough because she gets irritated so quickly." Shelton loved keeping things playful, often inventing small pranks or stories just to see Lambert's reaction. "Maybe I'll tell her one of her dogs is missing, let her believe it for 10 minutes or so," he said. "It's terrible. Anything I can think of to get a rise out of her is a sport for me." It sounds fun for Shelton, but one can't help wondering, how long can constant teasing be charming before it starts to get annoying? Being in a long-distance marriage took its toll on Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton. While Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton made their home in rural Oklahoma, Shelton's busy schedule kept him on the road much of the time. Between judging on the hit show The Voice and touring to promote his music, he was often away. Lambert, of course, had her own demanding career as a successful musician. Still, the couple found ways to stay connected. "We won't go more than 2 weeks without seeing each other," Lambert told People. Making it work wasn't easy, as Shelton explained. "You come up with all these different ideas and theories. We're going to make sure we have this many days together," he said. "But the truth is that you just got to take advantage of every window of time that you have, and you can't force it to happen." Even with effort and planning, it wasn't the most ideal arrangement for a married couple trying to balance two high-profile careers. Blake Shelton tried to get Miranda Lambert to move to Los Angeles, but she wasn't having it. When Blake Shelton signed on as a judge for The Voice, he knew he'd be spending a lot of time in Los Angeles. That meant finding a place to call his own when he wasn't back in Oklahoma. But Shelton didn't settle for a modest apartment or a small bachelor pad. "I found this big nice house with a pool," he told People. "Definitely not your average temporary setup." He also hoped the house might help Miranda Lambert warm up to California living, but that plan didn't exactly work out. "The first time she ever came, she was like, 'This is dumb. Why did you get a house this big?' Shelton recalled. And I was like, 'I thought you'd like it.'" It was clear right away that Lambert was not impressed with Shelton's SoCal digs. Was Blake Shelton more into The Voice than he was into Miranda Lambert? Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton may have looked like hashtag relationship goals to the outside world, but fame placed enormous strain on their marriage. "You are being pulled apart. Literally," Lambert said in 2014, according to People. "Blake's person is pulling him that way, and my person is pulling me this way." The couple often found themselves wondering when they'd actually get time together. Lambert, it seems, was the one making most of the effort. Shelton admitted in 2012, "She does that for me way more than I've ever done that for her. She's always been the one to go through hell to make sure we spend time together." The pressure eventually took a toll. Sources told TMZ that Lambert felt abandoned at times and believed Shelton cared more about The Voice than their marriage. Her dislike of Los Angeles, where Shelton worked, only added to the strain. Was having children a deal-breaker for Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert? One of the biggest questions couples face before getting married is whether they want children, making sure both partners are on the same page. Blake Shelton didn't hold back on his feelings about the topic. "When I see my mom and dad with their grandkids and that relationship down the road, that's what I'm looking forward to more than anything," he shared in 2011. "That family and those generations and being on that end of things." A year later, Miranda Lambert seemed less eager about the idea. "That's the one thing I really want to plan the right way because I don't want to have children and raise them on a plane or a bus," she said. "Right now, we're both at our peak and having a blast, and I don't think either one of us is thinking about changing a thing." Miranda Lambert admits she's not sunshine and roses, but Blake Shelton is an optimist. For all the happiness Blake Shelton brought to Miranda Lambert, at least for a time, that didn't mean she was smiling nonstop. It's just not in her nature. "I'm not sunshine and roses," she admitted in an interview with Marie Claire. "Blake's the happiest person on the planet. He pulls me out of my darkness." As the saying goes, opposites really do attract. Shelton has also called Lambert complicated, a description that understandably left her baffled. "She was like, 'What the hell is that supposed to mean?' he explained. "But it is the best way I know to describe her. That's what I admire about her. Her complications." Lambert added her own perspective. She believes all women are complicated. Whether that's true or not, it certainly makes for an unusual but telling compliment. Blake Shelton is a serious extrovert, while Miranda Lambert is an introvert. Miranda Lambert is an award-winning country music superstar, filling concert halls and performing for thousands. But when the lights go down and the crowd goes home, she leans more toward introversion, something that was especially true as a child. "Miranda started off extremely shy," her mother told Marie Claire. "She wouldn't speak. Not a word at school. If she had to order her own food, she'd just not eat. That's serious shyness. Though she eventually grew more comfortable in the spotlight. Living with Blake Shelton in rural Oklahoma showed she still valued a quieter life. I make sure I spend good quality time with my husband where it's just us being normal, she said in 2014. It's like, let's go back roading today, just me and you. By contrast, Shelton thrives in the public eye, on stage or in Los Angeles studios, making it clear that he's far more extroverted than his ex-wife. Did Miranda Lambert really trust Blake Shelton? One of the cornerstones of any relationship is trust, and Blake Shelton went to great lengths to show Miranda Lambert he was fully transparent. That's really the kind of trust we have. There are no secrets, he told people. I'd say, go dig through my drawers or my computer if you feel like you need to. Shelton added that giving Lambert that access helped strengthen their marriage, as he never wanted her to question his fidelity. Still, even that level of openness couldn't fully overcome the pressures they faced. An insider told E! News, trust was an issue for both of them. It went along with having to spend a lot of time apart. Ultimately, despite their efforts, the marriage couldn't hold together. Blake Shelton accused Miranda Lambert of infidelity and vice versa, and the fallout was intense. By 2015, Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton's marriage was on the brink of collapse. By mid-year, it was clear things were over, and Shelton filed for divorce. We are real people, with real lives, with real families, friends, and colleagues, the couple said in a statement obtained by E! News. Therefore, we kindly ask for privacy and compassion concerning this very personal matter. But the split was far from amicable. Both Lambert and Shelton publicly accused each other of infidelity, dragging others into the drama. Katie Groves and Chris Young, those allegedly involved, found themselves caught in the fallout. Groves' older brother told Radar Online, "She lost her record deal. She lost an album she spent years on." Chris Young also took to Twitter to defend himself, denying any involvement and emphasizing that he remained friends with both Shelton and Lambert. It was a messy, very public divorce that affected more than just the couple. Miranda Lambert reportedly suspected that Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani might get together. Shelton also found a connection with Gwen Stefani, who was navigating her own very public divorce from Gavin Rossdale after 20 years of marriage. As they confided in each other about their breakups, Shelton realized he had fallen for her. "Next thing I know, I wake up and she's all I care about, and I'm wondering if she feels the same about me," he recalled. Of course she did. And the rest, as they say, is history. Today, their romance is impossible to ignore. As for Miranda Lambert, she wasn't blindsided by the news. She was not surprised to hear of the romance between Blake and Gwen, a source told E! News. They were always pretty flirty. Miranda Lambert moved on from Blake Shelton pretty quickly. Just as Blake Shelton moved on from Miranda Lambert, she moved on from him. She didn't waste much time dating musician Anderson East before the end of 2015. She couldn't have picked a better dude to have fun with, a friend of East told Us Weekly. Anderson is the coolest guy. That relationship, however, wasn't meant to last. Lambert and East split 2 years later, but Lambert eventually found her happily ever after. In November 2018, she met then NYPD officer Brendan McLaughlin outside the Good Morning America studio in New York City, and sparks flew immediately. Just 3 months later, the couple tied the knot in a secret wedding. When asked why she kept it under wraps, Lambert explained to people, "I was married before, and it was a huge wedding and everything was very public. With Brendan, I made it a point to keep it as private as I could for as long as I could." All's well that ends well for Lambert, and clearly she's happier than ever. Is this Blake Shelton breakup song about Miranda Lambert? For as long as there's been music, there have been jilted lovers turning heartbreak into songs. So it's no surprise that fans wonder if Blake Shelton wrote a breakup track about Miranda Lambert, and the evidence suggests he might have. Take his 2016 song She's Got Away with Words from the album If I'm Honest. In it, Shelton sings, "She put the X in sex, she put the low in blow, she put a big F-U in my future. Yeah, she's got away." Not exactly a sweet reflection on married life. Could the song really be about Lambert? Possibly. When discussing the album, Shelton said, "I just want to tell the truth about what happened." That makes it likely that If I'm Honest was his way of working through the divorce, and She's Got Away with Words certainly sounds like part of that process. Miranda Lambert might have referenced Blake Shelton in this song. As the saying goes, it takes two to tango, so if Blake Shelton could write a breakup song about Miranda Lambert, she could return the favor. In 2018, Lambert released a single with her girl group, the Pistol Annies, titled "Got My Name Changed Back," and fans quickly suspected it was about her divorce from Shelton. Even though the song came out years after their split, it's hard to imagine she's singing about anyone else. "I don't want to be a Mrs. on paper no more, I got my name changed back," she sings in the chorus, Country Living. Later, Lambert and her bandmates belt out in unison, "I broke his heart and I took his money." Oof! Of course, we can only speculate about who she's targeting, but the clues are pretty obvious. Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton's story shows just how complicated love, fame, and heartbreak can be, even for country music's biggest stars. But what do you think? Was there ever a chance for them to make it work? Or was the split inevitable from the start? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth content like this. See you next time!